I have a partner, my brother, good man, because right now he just looks at it as an expense.
How much of the business do you own?
50%.
So why do you care what he says?
This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 10X Owners Live.
This is not an episode. You're
Yes,
not
it's a
watching
series.
a Netflix show. This
Almost Netflix.
is live. It is very live. We are so glad to have you here, but it's not an episode because we're live. It is Tuesday, May 17th. I have a fun fact for you guys. Does anybody know what day it is on Sunday? Anybody?
Anybody know?
Anybody? Well, this man to my right, who is also my husband and an incredible business leader, is turning
38
year older. 1 year older. It is B. Dawson's birthday. It is also the third day of our virtual interactive boot camp this Sunday, but it is officially birthday week. What is your wish for our 10X Owners Live crew on this Tuesday evening on your birthday week?
You know, for my birthday, I would love it if all of you could achieve in the next 12 months a personal, a professional, and a financial goal that you set for yourself. That would be the best birthday gift of all. Now, barring that, I think I want to go to Cabo and hang out for 4 days for my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't accomplish that tonight, but we can help these people achieve their personal, professional, and financial goals. But Brandon, I'm interested. I know we just jumped right into this, but I would love to have you get a proper introduction. Josh did an okay job, but I think
he's still working. He's a little
better.
green. He's still working on it, Josh Dawson.
So Brandon, what makes you qualified to be hosting a show called 10X Owners Live on a Tuesday night with a virtual room full of business owners?
Yeah, great question. So my last business that I founded with no money raised, no outside capital, no debt, grew it organically using the same principles, the same concepts that we teach each and every day. And then sold that business, generating 50 million of profits, building out the infrastructure and the research for growing and scaling rapidly, creating value in businesses, and sold it for $151 million, 77 times EBITDA, to $1 billion company. And then deployed inside that $1 billion company. And in 36 months, we took it to $4.5 billion. And then we partnered with Grant Cardone exactly 36 months ago, almost, maybe 37 months ago.
Who's counting?
And we've created a business in 36 months using the same principles we teach. No outside capital, no money invested, no debt, that has an enterprise value this year that will be in excess of $500 million, servicing $1 billion of businesses in 36 months.
Do you want to share the photo I shared with you earlier today?
It's so funny.
We're going through some content right now. We're creating some new awesome content for you guys. And one of my team members made a request today for a video of us at GrowthCon 3 years ago. And so I'm going through my phone as quickly as possible to try to find this video that she's looking for. And I stumble across this photo at GrowthCon of Brandon looking up at the stage. It was on day 3 of the conference. So for those of you who don't know, GrowthCon, there's a day 1, there's a day 2, and there's a day 3. We're still sitting in the front row, day 3, notepad open. And I took this photo of Brandon. I remember taking it because that was really the first time I watched you get like revived and engaged and excited. And I remember being so proud of you for just like being locked and loaded on day 3 of this business conference. And so Brandon, you can't really see it. Maybe we should figure this out a different.
But
so Brandon, here, can you give him like at least the little like. So this is the photo where Brandon's sitting at GrowthCon. You can see like it's my vantage point. That's Brandon. They're gonna try to zoom in on this. Maybe. Nope. Okay, that's as good as we're gonna get. This is Brandon, but you can see he's holding that phone right there. And for whatever reason today, I was like, man, I wonder what it says on the phone. So Brandon can read to you what this phone said.
I was taking my own personal notes because of all the business owners. This was on the second day. And I wrote our BHAG.
It's crazy. This is before we met Grant and Elena.
Yeah, we hadn't even met Grant and Elena.
We had no business. Cardone Ventures did not exist.
And my BHAG was impacting 1 million entrepreneurs over the next 10 years
There's a couple exclamation points on that.
Yep. Creating a group enterprise value of $10 billion. And if you think about it, see you,
You're crying.
no, I mean, look out, maybe, I mean, just look how much, look, we're already managing $1 billion in businesses in 36 months and compoundedly growing and doing the things that we set out. But I think the importance of that is when you set a target, and I didn't even know I wrote that on those notes.
I know.
And what's crazy is that's our mission, is to impact the lives of 10x, the lives of 1 million business owners and their teams.
And do you know what's even funnier about that?
Yeah, I think you try to take credit for setting that, and I actually have it on my notes.
Well, this is what's interesting, because guys, sometimes when you're in the moment and you just allow yourself to accept what you are called to do. That was that moment for Brandon at GrowthCon. He was sitting in an audience full of complete strangers. We knew nobody at this event. He's sitting there thinking, man, I think I'm capable of impacting 1 million business owners. Like, this is my calling. Over the next 10 years, I want to impact the lives of 1 million business owners. Did not have the vehicle, didn't have employees.
I had the research, and I had to know how to do it.
Yeah, but
I just didn't have the relationships.
What you guys see today is Cardinal Ventures and 10X Owners Live. None of this existed. So here he was sitting there making this proclamation to himself on his notes. And then a year later, when Natalie tries to put some context around this new business that we had started that had 12 employees at the time, I proposed that our vision was for us to impact 1 million business owners over the next 10 years. And what was your response?
It's like, I knew it. I knew that was my idea.
No, it was not. Brandon fought with me. We got in this huge argument because he's like, there aren't even 1 million business owners.
Those 31.5 million under a million, under 100 million.
You read those stats
Come on, lady. You don't need to be right here. Just go with it.
Anyway, the point being, like, guys, sometimes you are like totally living in this 10X mentality, and then other times you talk yourself out of it. And one of the reasons that we find that business owners talk themselves out of their big dreams, their 10X dreams, is because they just don't actually have the technical understanding to move from where they are right now, with the lack of knowledge as to how to get there, to the place that they want to go, which is their ultimate dream and their desire, and what we like to call your potential. And so one of the challenges that it's less so marketing, it's less so sales. One of the biggest challenges that business owners run into is this idea of finance. And what do you do to properly manage a business, especially if you've never done that before?
Yeah. And I think here's the thing. I mean, I say young business owners. I don't mean that by age. I mean it by mentality, by the way.
Are you a young business owner?
I am, if you compare myself to someone who's got $100 billion company. I mean, you know, I'm not Elon, although I would like to be. Or I will pursue it, I should say. So the number one thing is everybody believes they need money to pursue their dreams or their goals. And I, you know, that was my first business, and I needed to use somebody else's money, and they were able to take it away from me. And I vowed I'd never be dependent on anybody else's money ever again, as long as I lived. And if I could just create a business not needing capital, because the business engine ran so well, and what it did for people was so good that they would happily pay to be a part of it. So I don't need to raise capital to benefit them, and launched that into that new model in 2004. And, you know, built a business generating $50 million in profits, scaling the business up, and then selling it, and then taking $1 billion company to $4 billion. And nowhere along that process from 2004 to 2022 has there ever been the feeling I needed money to build anything. And so what we're talking about tonight is finance essentials, because we teach business owners how to grow and scale their business without needing capital. And so there's so many companies that are accessing venture capital, startup capital, things of that nature. And everyone's being conditioned in the universities that it's okay to it's almost expected that you should lose money in the first 3 to 5 years while you're building your business, because that's normal. And what I'm going to tell everybody is that it's only normal for the professors who've never built a business It's only normal for people that don't know how to make money. It's normal for them, which is why 88% of them never succeed and 100,000% of them never even try because they don't have the courage to do it. So, you know, the stats line up: 31.5 million small to mid-sized businesses in the United States. This is just the United States. 97% will fail within 10 years. 2/3 fail in the first 5. And that's because no one ever learns how to make money. And then the businesses grow and they get big, but they're not making money. So I bring this up because somebody wrote a novel there. I bring this up because what I want to talk about is, how do you make money? How do you create the algorithm for making money? How do you structure your business so that your customers will make you the money?
And we created a resource for you guys tonight, for those of you who are really interested in the concept that Brandon's going to go through, which is this idea of revenue per head. If the team wants to share the QR code, you can download the revenue per head worksheet so that we can talk you through that worksheet. If you're an interested business owner who is actively working on, how do I manage my revenue per head?
Can you get rid of the spam? That thing you copied, just delete it, get out of there. Look, hey guys, I'm just going to tell you, people that are on here, that this isn't a marketing vehicle for our clients and guests and new people. We don't allow spamming in the chat. So please don't do that. All right, go ahead, babe.
Oh no, you were going to take the revenue per head.
Oh yeah. So look, the end result is we have created an algorithm that allows businesses to grow and scale. And if you follow the algorithm that we teach at 10X or at the Finance Essentials, you won't ever be dependent on somebody else's money. You will be able to build your business, pay yourself, pay your team members, invest in the infrastructure. And sometimes it's so simple when you actually understand it. It's like when I used to take my kids when they were little tiny kids to the bowling alley, and I have 3 daughters. So the 2 older daughters would bowl and knock pins down. And then when Sierra was 2 or 3 years old, she'd go and throw the ball and it would barely get to the end. And if you don't have the rails up, it would go into the gutter. And then after 1 or 2 times of throwing in the gutter, when everybody else was making it, she wouldn't want to do it anymore. So the whole point in building a business is increasing your confidence, increasing your competence. And as you do that, you get bigger. And so if you know what some of those bumpers are, those guide rails, and
I love the bumpers.
And for us,
bumpers are the best.
If you build your business targeting being able to build a business that generates between $250,000 and $500,000 of revenue per employee, like just write that down, 250 to 500,000. If you just say, I'm not going to add employees until I can generate 250,000. And then when I add my first employee and my second employee, they have to help me. And we teach the exact structure, how to do this. They have to help me go get another 250 to 500,000 of revenue per head. And so that becomes the game, right? The game isn't the what you do. You're going to have to be good at the what you do. You're going to have to be able to fulfill your commitment, your promise, your brand commitment to the community, to your constituency, to your customers, to your clients, to your patients. That's all great. But once you're able to do that, if you can generate $250,000 to $500,000 and then add people and keep that ratio up, you have a real business. It's the businesses that can only do $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 of revenue per employee that run into trouble as they get bigger, because the cost to manage that revenue with the infrastructure and the finance and the accounting teams and the marketing teams, they overburden that revenue size. So the thing is if you know the bumpers, you will find success. Then you got to know what your water line is. Now, when COVID hit, we wrote the emergency business response and I immediately put it out, and we started doing, all of us put all executives put cameras in their offices, and all day, all we did was coach clients, and we saved thousands of businesses through COVID. And it's something we're very proud of, and it's all been recorded. So one day we're going to have quite a library of things to go back to. But what we're predominantly coaching on, the first and foremost, you got to know what your water line is. So if I start my business and I'm working by myself and I rent an office and I've got to invest in marketing and I have a couple virtual assistants to help me, I've got to buy products to sell, or I've got to buy technology to operate on, whatever it is, by the time you add up all the costs to do business, if at 250,000, you should be able to make 100 to 150,000 if you're working by yourself. As you grow and scale, you need to maintain that. And so you got to know what your water line is. So now fast forward, I've got 10 employees. I'm doing $250,000 a month, $3 million a year in revenue. And I should know what exactly it costs me to be in business with my fixed versus variable expenses. So at $3 million of revenue, I should know that if I go below, call it $2.4 million of revenue, I'm losing money, and you should know how much you lose. And so if you know what your water line is, and you know your target of $250,000 to $500,000 of revenue, you can protect your business. And this is why 97% of businesses fail in the first 10 years, is because they never learned the basic discipline of how to manage the finances relative to their business. And what I'll tell you is that if you're serious about building anything, and if you're sitting there saying to yourself, you know, I don't know that I want to go start my own business, but I would love to have the financial benefit of being in a private business, you learn this stuff and you go to a business owner who's doing $1 million or $2 million or $3 million, you go to a dentist, you go to a chiropractor, you go to a doctor, you go to someone who owns a paint store, a massage, it doesn't matter. When you understand the principles of how to generate money, how to make money, and how to manage the business against making money, that's a skill set. You don't need to be a finance person. All this stuff was born out of the fact that my first company, I made a technical mistake, a couple of them, and it cost me, my shareholders got control of my company and they were able to sell it when they wanted to. So this was born out of not losing control of your business, but learning the process to grow, scale, and create massive value without needing anybody else's money. And if you come to this event,
speaking of people who have learned from this and come to it, we have an awesome video.
Let's do it.
We would
Let's
love
show
to
it.
be able to share with people about the last finance essentials.
Oh yeah,
workshop.
let's
that
go.
Was awesome.
I didn't know what I didn't know about finance. I wanted to expand my business, but I don't want to break it in the future. I knew the Cardone Ventures team knows finance, knows how to expand, so that when I build a multi-million-dollar business, it doesn't all come crashing down on my head.
Everything that I learned today, I was just kind of mind blown. I was like, I can't believe I didn't know any of this.
We know we need to do finance. We need to use it to educate our business decisions.
There's so many things that I realized I did not know.
They teach you budgeting, they teach you how to do incentives with the employees.
The exact data on how to set up my finances, how to view them, how often to view them, what reports to look at, and just knowing exactly where I should be looking at financially in my business.
We weren't tracking our KPIs, we weren't tracking our expenses. We had no idea where the money was going. As soon as we came back, we put everything together, and now we're starting to get an idea of where that money's going in and out.
It's been a real eye-opener about how to do your books and keep track of your books, so it's been great for us.
Really took a deep dive into our platform and information in there that as a business owner and a non-financial person, I didn't really understand all that well at the beginning, and now I have a much better grasp of it. I'm really excited about being able to apply that to my business and make decisions based on it.
If you're thinking about coming to the Finance Essentials, I would highly, highly suggest it. Money and revenue and finances are a huge part of the business, and knowing how to control that yourself is a huge thing.
I'm just very glad that I found this place, because I'm able to not only come and learn, but network with people who are very like-minded and who also want to continue to move forward every single day.
That's cool. That's a new video you guys put together.
Hey, I know. I was trying to. I kept there. There were a couple moments in there where I was like, "Oh,
You
that'd be a great time to play a video. Oh, that'd be a great time. Oh, people winning and having success. Oh, that'd be a great time." But then all of your knowledge just kept pouring out. So I didn't want to stop you.
When I talk, I'd be considered a run-on sentence.
You would definitely be considered a run-on sentence, but all of us are here to listen to your run-on sentences. Am I right, guys? Like there's no shortage of loving Brandon's run-on sentences. But Brandon, I would love, so the worksheet that they just downloaded, if they chose to, kind of walks them through the revenue target and revenue per head target here. So if you want to share a little bit more about how we use that and why it's important, especially as a small business, to really get a grasp on this early on so that there isn't issues that are caused later down the road. Yeah.
So what I do is I look, this is really simple, because here's the one thing I promise everybody as you get to know us. And for those of you that work with us, you'll learn I'm a 2.4 GPA high schooler.
It's true.
So anything overly complicated, the stuff I teach, you should not need a 4-year degree.
Very true.
In fact, in the 4 years that you would go to school and spend $250,000 to learn very little about how to build a business, in that same 4 years, we'll teach you how to build a business that's doing $10 or $25 million. So because most of those people teaching those programs now, honestly, I hire people that went and got their finance education or their legal education. Those are all very important aspects. But if you want to be an entrepreneur and build a business, you don't have to know the technical aspect of all that stuff. So what we do every single month is we look at how many employees we have on the payroll. So let's just make this up and say you had 20 employees on the payroll. And then we look at how much revenue did we do that month. So if we have 20 employees on the payroll at $250,000 of revenue per head per year, right? So that would be what's 20 times 250,000, Miss London School of Economics.
I can't do mental math.
You can't do that.
You know it's my kryptonite. Why would you put me on the spot like this?
All right. So wait,
I can come up with it. No, I can't. No.
So
carry the zero.
That'd be $5 million of revenue per year.
That's the number I was going to come up with.
Exactly. And if it was $500,000 of revenue per head, that'd be a $10 million business.
That's right.
So now you go, okay, if you have 10 employees, you want to set a target of doing 20 employees. Sorry, 20 employees. You want to set a target. You're going to do $5 million to $10 million of revenue. That would be your bumpers on the bowling alley. And you would conform and force the business and learn how to get the business to do that for you, because scale is maximizing what you have. Scaling is a rapid expansion of what you can prove works. And the gentleman who taught me this is the head of a company that has about $30 billion of equity.
Would you say $30 million?
30 billion.
B.
And it's one of the largest, most quality private equity groups in the globe. But the point there is I've learned so many great things from so many brilliant people, and getting an opportunity to share it with you so you understand how to make money work for you. You know, creating a huge net worth is learning how to do two things. It's learning how to pull time forward and pull money forward so that I can get money and time compounding for me. And they don't teach this stuff in school because they don't know how to do this stuff. So what we're going to teach at this 2-day workshop is how to pull time, how to pull money forward so time and money can compound for you. If you're not tracking your revenue per head, then you find yourself in trouble. So what we do is we'll go back, for example, to it's 2022, and we'll say, okay, let's look for over the last 12 months. Let's look at the 3 best months of revenue that we had. And then how many employees did we have? And so we add up the best 3 months, creates a total. We divide it by 3 and times it by 12. And that creates your low end budget for what revenue you want to do next year. And so then you divide that by how many employees, and that sets your target for how many employees you're going to hire for next year or this year based on what you did last year. And then you can update that rolling total so let's say the last 3 months I've been doing $300,000 a month. And then all of a sudden I popped to 400. I erased 300, put 400. Once I have 3 consecutive months of 400, then I set my hiring off of that, so that I'm not because the concept that's sold with Wall Street by bankers and by poor educators is that you should go backwards building your business because you're, quote, forward investing in your future growth. The reality is 97% of all those businesses fail in the first 10 years. And the 3 reasons they say fail is, 1, no demand for product or service. So they never actually learn to sell enough to stay in business. 2, can't get any good employees. Well, you're not going to hire good people if you can't figure out how to create demand for your product or service. And you certainly shouldn't be hiring or starting a business if you haven't quantified if anybody cares what you're doing. So you can't blame your employees if there's no demand for product or service. Then you can't say, well, I couldn't hire good people. And good people are not going to work for a bad business owner. And then the third part is they blame financing, can't get access to financing. Well, if you build your business right, you don't need other people's money. Mm-hmm. You can use your own money generated from a responsible business that you built that adds value to somebody because you understand and learn how you need to establish your products or services, how you need to matrix your pricing offering, and how you need to build and scale your infrastructure and organization to support your deliverable in a profitable fashion, because that's what a responsible business owner does. They don't wing it.
I would love to have people drop in the chat the number that they've come up with for, guys, would you scroll up to see, let's see, can we get you guys to share? Oh no, in the worksheet on the left, other direction, that way, down. So the average 3 months of revenue in 2021, who knows their numbers? We should play a game with people. Like, we will give people, we'll send out a hat and a 10X.
A year's worth of coaching from Natalie.
We'll send out a hat and a 10X roll. And
let's do it. Why do you say it like that? You mean a badass hat, a 10X America hat?
We actually just got I am 10X hats in. Have you seen them yet?
No.
They're sick. They say I am.
Did we make that up or somebody else?
I did.
Nice. I love it when you innovate the brand.
Listen, I do it all. So Sam was the first one. Sam says 2.5 million is the average. Is that the first number? Or is that the times 12 number? 105 a quarter. Man, you guys, this is a weird, not following directions super well. So I'm looking at the first number, which says average, not the one that's times 12. That would be the low range budget goal. Okay, we got I feel like the first person to actually put in here was Carolina Correa. Carolina, can you DM what account are we on? The account that we're talking on for your address. We'll send you a 10X I am 10X hat and a 10X roll book. We'll get B. Dawson to sign it as well.
Let's go, B. Dawson.
What about other numbers in here, Brandon? Have you seen any other numbers in here?
Well, there's 325, but I don't know if these are monthly or annual numbers. So you asked for the average, but the problem is some people are putting like 12 million per quarter, which is great if you're doing 12 million in revenue, 240,000 per quarter. So that would mean if you took 240,000 per quarter, then you'd say, okay, you're annualizing at $1 million. And if you're running at $250,000 per employee, you'd have 4 employees.
And Jim says 12 million per quarter.
Yeah. So that's 48 million in revenue.
Jim, that's a nice business you got going on.
Yeah. Let's go, Jim.
120K a month.
There you go. Good.
19K on average. Oh, I love Donna's number. We should also send Donna a hat. Donna has very accurate numbers. $56,916 per month. Donna, love the accuracy.
Okay, I'm going to send Jim a hat too because he's got the biggest number on here.
Yeah,
$12 million a quarter. You're going to have to validate that though. You can't throw that stuff out here. Josh Dawson, get Jim's information. Let's validate his $12 million.
Jim, if you can validate it, we're sending you an I am 10X hat.
Like he says, no problem.
No problem.
Love it.
Any team members in the Scottsdale office who can pop in my office, we could go show them the I am 10X hats for the.
Yeah, why aren't they in here? Why can't somebody bring it? Can't so? Hey, go grab an I am 10X.
It's in my office on the shelf.
Can I have one of those?
I don't know. We're now giving away to Jim, Carolina, and who was our other person? Donna. Oh, Donna.
Look at that. Carolina's going to get a bunch of gifts.
Carolina, luckily there are no crazy 10Xers that are going to show up on your door.
I love crazy 10Xers.
You know, we were gonna try to.
All right. Well, he's going to get in that hat. Well, he's going to get in that hat. Do me a favor. Well, he's going to get in that hat. Throw up the Finance Essentials workshop. All right, hang on. We'll show that after this. So, throw up the Finance Essentials workshop. Whoever's controlling that. So that you guys look, we have a Finance Essentials workshop coming up June 4th and 5th
in sunny Scottsdale.
Sunny Scottsdale. Look, we're going to be breaking down the data from all the research we've done with thousands of businesses to show the earnings power that you can create within your business, showing you the valuations paid for businesses. There is no reason to build a business if you're not building it intentionally to create value. A lot of people will say, well, I want to build a business because the impact of what I love doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you cannot have a big impact if you don't understand how to monetize, how to fund your growth. And if you really believe you want to have a massive impact, then being reliant on everyone else to give you money to pursue those goals is not a responsible way to build a business, because it's how you lose a business, which is exactly what happened to me. So anybody who's dead serious about blowing it up, figuring out how to grow a business without needing somebody else's money, learning the proper algorithm to do it, shoot this QR code. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out what you need. And the advisory team will talk to you and we'll get you to this Finance Essentials workshop. So
Caleb's making $80K a month at age 17. What should Caleb do to make more revenue?
Let's go, Caleb. That's awesome.
Hey, Caleb, guess what? You are 10X.
Yes, you are. Can I see it?
Yeah.
I am 10X.
You like that?
Yeah.
What? There was some hesitation there. That was not I'm sold.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, it's working it out. It's working out. It's a little beat up.
Hat.
I know. It looks.
Oh, look at that. Oh, okay.
Is this a girl's hat?
No, it's not a girl's hat.
Look, if you want me to sponsor this product, look at that.
Yes, I do.
All right. Let's go. I am 10X. She hates it when I do that.
I do. It drives me nuts.
So Caleb, look, congratulations. Let's bring Caleb on. I want to talk to Caleb.
Let's go, Caleb.
$80,000 a month, 17 years old. Let's see what Caleb.
Who wore it best?
Can you guys find Caleb and bring Caleb up? Caleb, you got to turn your camera on, or we can't call you up.
We'd love to see you.
If you can't do it, that's okay.
His I am 10X had a question mark on it. That's good, Tom.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you?
Caleb.
Hello.
Caleb, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Can you turn? Hey, how come your camera's not on, Caleb?
Let me enable text camera. I think it's one of the iPhone features.
Okay. What kind of business you got?
It's a family business.
But what kind of business?
Mostly construction.
Awesome, dude. 17 years old. You own that business?
Yeah, it's gonna be passed down by my uncle since everything's under my name.
Okay. So did you build it, or did your uncle build it?
He built it, and I helped him along the way to build it more.
Good for you, dude. So listen, man, you need to, if this is your first responsible kind of passing of the baton to you, you need to learn everything you can about business and money.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing right now marketing for UT. I'll
Awesome.
start this summer.
Awesome. Good for you, dude. Well, thank you for joining us on the show.
I want to know how to turn on the camera so I can show my face.
All right. Well, we'll come back to you if you can figure that out.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right. Let's bring on some questions here.
Oh, to be 17 again.
I know. I'd love to be 17 again.
Man, wouldn't that be nice? Okay.
Philip Chan. Let's bring Philip on.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic. Listen, I want to give you an update. After our talk about choosing one thing to blow up the stats in, I've decided to hone in on leadership development and be a specialist within that. Since we're on the topic of finance, one thing that I am really curious is if you don't mind elaborating what you mean by price is irrelevant, in the sense that it's really hard to get someone to buy ice cream for $10,000, right? As much as you want to say, yeah, I can charge high ticket and it's not relevant. So if you don't mind elaborating what you mean by that, I would love to hear your thoughts.
100%, dude. So look, price is irrelevant as long as you can deliver the value.
Jared Ritter, put it in the chat. Price is only an issue in
the absence of value. So it is irrelevant. You can charge whatever price you want for that ice cream, provided you have somebody that perceives the value of the ice cream. If you're not good at demonstrating the value of the ice cream, then nobody's going to pay you the price.
Yeah,
so,
and maybe the ice cream being $10,000 isn't maybe the best example, but if the ice cream was $20 versus the average ice cream is $10.
How do you even know all this? I don't know how much ice cream. You eat a lot of ice cream?
I was just on my podcast. I actually just wrapped my podcast 5 minutes before we started 10X Owners Live. And I was talking all about my recent addiction to Talenti, raspberry,
here I am.
sorbetto.
Here I am. I'm married to her and I don't even know she has an addiction.
That's not true. You gave me the ice cream like 2 nights ago.
So look, you gotta have it. You gotta have it in a, you gotta be in a reasonable zone, right? So yeah, $10,000 for a scoop of ice cream is a little ridiculous, but you will command, I just want everybody to write this down. It's really important to understand this. You will command the price that your confidence in your ability to deliver will allow you to command.
I love what Alexandra put in the chat. Maybe ice cream is at Grant's house. Somebody would pay.
Yeah, I could. That is true. We could say, hey, $20,000 donation to the Grant Cardone Foundation. Come over and have ice cream at Grant's house. Now, what you did is you just added value to the ice cream.
But price is only an issue in the absence of value. So if it's just like everybody's ice cream, of course, nobody's going to want to pay $10,000 or $20,000 for ice cream. But if the value is there, if you could have dinner and ice cream with your most significant
with my dad's
mentor,
chocolate chip cookies,
or with Jim Dawson, he is known for his chocolate chip cookies.
Look, dude, your issue is that when people start, see, your confidence is low, because if you were trying to sell me leadership, I'd say to you, oh, that's awesome. So what's the biggest thing you ever led? Let's just role play this. So pitch me on why I'd hire you for leadership.
You hired me for leadership because I have devoted a lot of time, thousands of dollars in investing in myself to learn from the best. And the way that I work is I work in a manner at which I guarantee results. So that means that as long as we're together, I am going to make sure that whatever it is that you need to accomplish gets accomplished. And pretty much that's the commitment that I will spend to my customers.
That's great. And then if I say to you, give me an example of something that you've built where you've been a remarkable leader and you've been able to see those results.
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you that I'm still green. I recently got appointed into a leadership position. So I don't have, 10 years of track record, but what I can guarantee you is my effort and my dedication and my commitment to making this an opportunity where both of us can win. So
okay, and then I'm going to ask you, what is your number one leadership principle that could help me?
Influence. The definition of leadership, according to John Maxwell, is influence. So I will make sure we do a deep assessment on how can we make sure you affect your environment in the most positive way possible, so you can create the impact that you want in affecting 1 million entrepreneurs and helping them build successful businesses.
Yeah, now ask me that question.
Hey, Brandon, what is the best way that what is the top leadership principle that you can give me to help me grow my business?
Making other people's success easy. Because then you'll let me influence you. See, if you believe influence in itself represents great leadership, then you have to ask, how do people allow you to influence them? And the only way they let you influence them is if you're doing something that benefits them. You're making their success, their priorities, their efforts more rewarding. So So the thing is that if all of a sudden, if you believe that and people go, oh, thank God, because I need someone to help me. See, you're selling a concept. I'm selling an impact. And so what you have to understand is that confidence comes with your own ability. Confidence in pricing comes with your own belief, because everything follows belief. John will say, he'll say everything follows leadership, right? Rises and falls on leadership. And so John and I have had these conversations, but your leadership lid is relative to your belief lid. If you believe that you can do something huge, then you have no problems with the confidence of charging for what you believe your impact will be. But if you're questioning your ability to impact, you're going to question your pricing, because I think everyone would agree by what you said. If I was a business owner, I would be negotiating you through this, because you even admitted, I'm green. I don't know what I'm doing. This is going to be a journey. Give me a try. Sounds very desperate-ish to me, which means you're going to have a hard time commanding a high price. So what you need to be doing is you need to be selling not you and your commitment. You need to be selling John and what he's taught you. So you need to be able to walk in and say, there's 3 specific things I've learned by becoming a John Maxwell certified coach, or whatever process you're going through. And that is making your success is my number 1 priority. Taking things off your plate that are consuming your time, energy, and effort, and helping you find, attract, align, develop, and retain team members so that it doesn't all fall on your plate so that you can grow bigger. Those would be 3 things you could help somebody to do. But if you don't have the confidence that you can help somebody to do it, and you don't know what the impact of helping somebody do it is, it's hard to quantify it. Therefore, you struggle with charging a price. This is why, by the way, 2/3 of all businesses fail within 5 years, and 97% fail within 10, because people never learn how to price their value proposition and measure the impact of their contribution. So they're always defending their price versus going on the offensive as to why their price is just logical. So I would tell you, you need to find the logic in your presentation, and then you cannot start a business relationship off apologizing for what you don't know, because it shows a weakness in your own confidence. Let's go. All right, let's do it. Good job, Philip. Let's do another question. Okay, Carolina, how are you?
Hello, Brandon. How are you? I'm great.
I'm doing great.
Natalie, thank you for choosing me. Well, today I have lots of wins. It's been a magical day today, and on top of that, I won your hat and your book. So I'm like, what's going on?
So cool.
So we are just about to be awarded 2 projects, giant projects, and one of them, the largest one in our history. I attribute this to being in the 10X program, because if I didn't have the concept of raising my belief lid, I would have never even attempted to quote and send a proposal for it. I would just dismiss the invitation to bid. And we worked so hard with it. You know, I just went with the principles and what I've learned, and with, you know, checked all the boxes apparently. And I received a call today, and they said we will be giving you the tile package.
There you go. You know, you and I made a bet when you came through. Do you remember our bet when you came through the 10X 360?
I think about it every single day, Brandon. And the goal that you asked me about, that I was, you know, I said it but I didn't really, and I'm about to reach it, and I can't believe it.
I told you. See, here's the thing. People don't understand. Tell everybody, what size was your business when you came through?
Well, last year I made $300,000.
That's right. And what did I tell you you're going to do this year?
1.8 million.
So I told her, I said, look, if you've been able to get to 300,000 by yourself, doing everything by yourself, literally practicing at everything you're trying to do with no help, then after you came through this 10X 360, you'll do over $1.5 million. You'll be between $1.5 million and $2 million. I guarantee you. And what do you think you're going to do this year based on all the activity you have going on?
Well, so far, if these come through, it's going to be just below $2 million.
Just on 2 deals you have going right now, not to mention everything else you've already done. You'll do 3 or 4 million. I mean, look.
But there's stuff in the pipeline that it's also, you know, if a percentage of that comes through, then it's going to surpass the 2 million.
Yeah, look, guys. I can see into the future. You guys just don't understand. Like the people, I put new. If this is your first experience at a 10X Owner's Life, put new in the chat. I'm just curious. New. Okay. We got a bunch of new people. So look, we've brought thousands of business owners through these programs, and I'm a surgeon for business. Like when I meet people and I hear what they do, and we go through our assessments and we work with them, I can immediately pinpoint where they're weak, where they're strong, and what they're not even thinking about. And this is what happened with hers. And this has happened with almost everybody that's on here that's not new, that's been through any of our programs, is they go home and they crush it. Building businesses is not difficult unless you're doing it by practicing. And when you're practicing, you're going to get in trouble. So I cannot wait. Carolina, you're going to you'll do 3, 4, 5 million. Who knows how much this year. We're going to blow it up. Now, the next thing for you is to get into that platform to get ahead of it.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I do have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, all right. So this client calls me today. He says, we're planning to award you this project. We just have to tell you, you are higher in price. You know, circling back to your topic, you're higher in price than everyone else. And we're wondering if you can come down in installation price. I do, you know, tile installation, stone and everything. And I'm like, how much? And this is a $1 million project. And he said, you're about 100,000 over. And I start giving him those logical explanations you're talking about and defending my price. And he's like, go think about it and come back to me. So I'm in that dilemma right now. How, you know, there is room to squeeze, but I want to approach it the other way. I want to be able to stick to my guns and.
Yeah, no. So look, go back to him and say, I can't discount my existing project, but if you give me another $1 million, I'll discount that one by 10%. Because just like everything else, with volume comes and with knowing what kind of customer you have, because you say, you know, a lot of people tell me that, and then they slow pay me, or they slow walk it, or they don't pay on time. And I'm taking the risk here by ordering inventory. There's just a lot of things, and I'm moving other projects off my plate that I would be getting a full price for. So I'm already giving you a discount because I'm putting my attention on this. I'm going to make sure it's done right. And say, guarantee me another $1 million. And then after you hit $2 million with me, I'll discount the 2 projects by 5%. So say that, and I'll give you so create a volume discount. People that do 2 million with me get 5% off. People that do 5 million with me, they get 7% off. People that do 10 million with me, they get 10% off. Like create an incentive for them to not just guarantee this business, but guarantee the next business. And don't work for people for free, everyone, because then they take advantage of you. And anybody who's a good negotiator is going to ask for a discount. So instead of giving a discount, give value. Say, hey, look, I can't discount this job, but do you have another job? Maybe there's something I can do for you on another job to create value, because I am getting some volume discounts on some specialty stone and stuff. And so if you commit to this job and you get me into another job, I'll give you a 5% credit towards any of your other jobs and I'll come in and do them for free up to the $100,000. So if you need to use me for something where you don't have enough margin on a different job, then I take a percentage of what you pay me and I'll credit it towards something. And then if you have a high-end client that you want to do something amazing for, but they're not paying you, because, you know, it's always hard working with people that don't want to pay you for what you're worth, right? Wink, wink. So I'd rather trade out helping you in something where you need help and making it a home run for you than discounting a job that you and I both know somebody else is paying for. Let's go, man. You know, you guys, confidence. Good for you, sweetie. I'm so proud of you. All right, let's go to the next. Who's next? I can't see on the monitor. Anthony, let's go, Anthony.
Okay, Brandon, thanks for taking my question here. I wanted to ask if I'm a visionary or a driver, but I'm not good on the back end. What is the best way to, like, that's not my strong suit. I'm good with my customers. I have so much work coming in, but I'm not organized.
Yeah.
Like
So I just want to tell everybody on here, look, it's very important for everybody to understand their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. A lot of you business owners, you know, there's two kinds of people that you need in a business. You need builders and you need managers. And the managers take care of all the back end and make sure everything is connected and the bills get paid and the projects get completed and the customer satisfaction surveys get filled out and, you know, all the organization side. The builders go out and push and blow on the business to get it big. If you're a manager, you tend not to build. So you go into business and you're like, you try to manage your way to success. It never going to work like that. So if you're a builder though, and you're out blowing on the coals and they're getting hotter and hotter and hotter, you need to intentionally go hire a manager. So what I would tell you is you need to find a complement to your strengths, and you need to find somebody who can manage the projects. Give them say, hey, look, when I go make these things happen, here's what the fulfillment needs to look like. I'll incentivize you to make sure that our clients have a 95 to 100% satisfaction with the fulfillment. So I know that we can build the business to the next level and find yourself a manager. So it's good that you recognize that weakness, but if you just build, you'll build yourself right out of business. And for you, you know, I don't know, what workshops have you gone to? Did you go to the 360?
No, I haven't gone to any of those yet.
How big's your business?
About $500,000.
Yeah. So look, I would suggest to you that you go to this Finance Essentials workshop so that you can figure out how to put your budgets and your revenue targets together and everything, so you know who to hire. And then you go from that. We just had a People Essentials, but I would go to this, and I would go to, if anybody wanting to learn how to engineer their business so that the sales and marketing work long-term, then you should go to the Finance Essentials workshop, and you should go to the People Essentials workshop. Those two things. And then so we built these workshops to help teach and educate you guys how to do it the right way. Nobody else is doing this. You heard from Carolina what's happening in her business. She went the 10X 360. She made a big investment because she was frustrated. The other thing I appreciate is when a business owner is frustrated enough that they're willing to make a big bet and then they go out and crush it. The people that are scared to make the big bet, they're the ones that don't have the confidence in themselves that they're going to do anything good with the information. So when you're unwilling to make the big bet, don't expect your customers you're servicing to make the big bet, because you buy the way you sell and you sell the way you buy. So if you're scared and you're uncertain and you're insecure and what you're charging for and what you would pay, you're going to be the same to people you do business with.
Yeah, so I've noticed that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I noticed that, like, the price is a myth. Like, I started going through my projects and the customer changed some things a little bit that we were going to do. And I added $5,000 to our estimate and they didn't even blink an eye. And I'm like, it amazed me, but I've been coming to this every week, doing the accelerator programs, jumping on the other webinars from Grant. I'm coming this weekend. So I'm learning it. I'm applying it to what I'm doing. It's just, I'm not strong on the office end, on the back.
I'll give you an example. I have a buddy of mine that he and I were just chatting for 10 minutes. And he said to me, same thing that Carolina asked me. He said to me, have a client that wants me to do a $200,000 project for him. And he said, he's asking for a discount. And I said, did you ask the client if anybody else bid the project? And he said, yes, he was one of 3 people that bid it. And I asked him, I said, did you ask the client why he chose to go forward with you? And he said, because he wanted he wanted it done sooner and the other bids were going to take a lot longer. So he goes, but now he's asking me for a discount. I said, well, call the client back and say, hey, look, I will never tell a client no, but here's the thing. I'm happy to give you the discount, but then I got to put you on the same timeline the other people bid you against. So because the thing is for my own business's cash flows, I'm going to put my attention on where I'm getting my highest compensation. So here's the deal. I'm happy to discount it, but I got to take my bid from guaranteeing it in this window of time, and I got to stretch it. And so maybe you might want to reconsider because the other people were already stretching you, but I'm going to be, or you can have my higher price and I'll do it sooner. What would you prefer I do? And he texted me back. He's like, dude, the guy was like, no, I want it done now. I'll just pay the price. There was not a single ounce of, oh, please, or I'm upset. He was like, no, I want it now. So I'll just pay the price. Just, can you come do it? So the thing I tell all of you is you all think price is the issue. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. And what you need to do is you need to learn what your margins are. So you're not giving things away to chase dollars, only to find out you didn't make any money. So you just, look, there's lots of ways to do it, but get a manager behind you to help you so you can blow on more coals and feel confident doing it. You will feel more ethical if you know that you're following through with the things you promised for what you're charging for, which will give you confidence to charge more. So I would just do that. Great hearing from you, buddy. Let's take the next question. Michael Healy. How you doing?
Hey, Brandon, doing great. Thanks for calling on us. All right, so I'm going to get straight to it. We have a question. My wife has been in the a family insurance business for 26 years. Tom is supposed to retire this year, and we basically run all the operations and everything like that. Tom basically signs the paychecks, and he's not even really pulling his own weight anymore. But now he's pulled this plug on us that he's saying that he's not ready to retire. And so
I'm just telling you guys, how long have you guys been there?
I've been there for 26 years.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? I just want everybody to know, if you're a business owner and you have a long-term employee and you're making all these promises and then you change your mind, you're just setting yourself up for a disaster for your business. Like, this is the number one reason that long-term businesses fail, is because they literally don't put structure and strategy in place. And then what happens is committed employees that have been there forever feel entirely undercut, undermined, and underappreciated. And then they realize they have options. And those options won't include somebody who's been making false promises. The most dangerous thing you can do if you're in business is make false promises. If you're not committed to coming to the finance essentials and learning to put together equity earning structures, incentive structures, short-term incentive structures, long-term incentive structures, if you're unwilling to do that, then it's not, and you're making promises, then you will reap the benefit of false promises, which will be a disaster. The only reason that he's willing to change things up is because people are in there busting their ass making him money. And so now all of a sudden, you guys are feeling slighted. So what you do is you say, hey, either fulfill the commitment and promise. So whose business are you in?
It's like my wife's second father, but not by blood, but like,
yeah.
adopted.
So you say, we love you, but this is where we're fixed. See, this is a thing. If you're an employee and you're working somewhere and you have this dream of owning your own business and doing your own things, you also need to go to the business owner and say, hey, in the next 36 months, we're either going to be in our own business or I'm going to have a deal with you here that makes me feel good. What conversations can we have? Most business owners don't explore the conversations because they don't know how to technically construct things. And most of them hire crappy accountants and hometown lawyers that don't know how to do this stuff either. So everyone just gets a whole series of bad advice. So I think what you guys have to go to them and say, hey, look, you've been making these commitments and promises. If you're not going to fulfill that, we'll just go start our own agency.
Okay.
Because let me just tell everybody on here, fear of loss is always more of a motivator than opportunity of gain. And what you could do is say, look, if you don't want to exit, that's fine. I like working with you and trust you, but we got to put a plan where we can end up owning the business in the next 3 to 5 years, or there's no point in us staying here. If that was the promise.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, super helpful. And then, so we're coming to the Finance Essentials Workshop, and we bought the Business Buyers Accelerator program too, and we're going through that too. So
let's go. That's awesome. What kind of insurance?
We do P&C and life.
Yeah. So we will be announcing, I mean, I could announce it now, but I'm not going to. Next Tuesday, I'm going to announce our new 10X insurance program.
Yay, exciting.
So we're gonna go after all the property casualty, independent property casualty lives, agents, and we're going to roll out a complete product line and build a consumer friendly agency, national agency. So we're very excited about that.
Very cool.
Very awesome.
Definitely interested in learning more about that.
Awesome. Donna, it is a fear of loss is a bigger motivator than opportunity of gain. All right, let's go. Let's grab one more.
Thanks, Brandon.
You bet, buddy. Good seeing you. Yeah, Michelle's fine.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
And I will be at Finance Essentials for my birthday.
Yes, let's go.
I'm excited to grow my business and figure out my numbers because I have no clue.
That's good that you know that.
Yeah, I have Michelle's Home Cleaners, so I've been building with you guys and learning, and I just still haven't figured out the numbers and how to pay my employees right, and that's what I'm trying to figure out.
You know, the smartest people are the ones that ask the best questions, not the ones that already know the answers.
So my question is, how do I build my value? Like, how do I increase my revenue per employee?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We're going to teach that at the Finance Essentials, but the short answer is you can do it multiple ways. A, you can get rid of some employees. That automatically increases your revenue per employee. So if you have employees that are underperforming and you eliminate them, then your revenue per employee goes up. Second way, you can get higher value jobs. You can go find jobs that will pay you more for the same man hours or employee hours that you currently have. And then the third way is to augment your current offering with connected business offerings that could take the same relationships you're already generating revenue with, but offer them something that they'll pay you more because you're doing more for them. So if you're cleaning, this is just a bad example, but let's say you're cleaning, you could say, okay, in addition to cleaning, we also could do, and I'm just making this up because I got to think about it, but you could say, oh, we now do bug spraying. So you have the cleaning and the bug spraying because you already have the relationship. Or you go, hey, we do interior cleaning. We just added exterior window cleaning because you already have the relationship. Or, hey, we do interior cleaning. We didn't used to do interior or exterior windows, but we do that now. So you start taking the relationship you already have and you start adding stuff to that relationship that generates more revenue, where you don't need to add a bunch of more personnel, higher valued revenue. And so, it's matrixing, it's figuring out your highest value contribution, highest margins, and something you could add to what you're doing. And then that way you can raise revenue per employee.
Okay.
And you're going to get a lot of this at the Finance Essentials.
Okay.
We're looking forward to seeing you there.
All right. Thank you.
Sure. Let's take Scott and then we'll. Well, okay. How you didn't raise his hand fast enough. Why are you correcting me on live TV? And then we'll take flames. All right, Scott, let's go.
All right. Hey, thank you, sir. I'm sold on your service. I went to the 10X 360, pardon me, I went to the 10X boot camp in July of last year, and I got a taste of what 10X 360 was. I talked to a lot of people that had really successful use of it. However, I have a partner, my brother, good man.
Don't, hey, I just cut you off right there. Everybody on here that's been to a 10X 360, can I get a 10X? Everybody on here. I want to know how many people on here have been to the 10X 360, just so everybody can see if the people on here are qualified to answer the next question, which is this before you say anything. You are not a victim, but yet a volunteer. No one is stopping you from doing whatever you want to do. I've had kids work for their parents who have put those 10X 360s on their own credit card to show their parents they were serious about growing the business. Never blame anyone for why you're unwilling to invest in yourself and make a good decision. Now you can ask me your question.
Okay. The question what I'm trying to do is I'm slowly trying to use a lot of your teachings that I see on Saturdays when I'm doing my work, and I'm trying to move him in to say yes, because right now he just looks at it as an expense.
But why do you care what he says? Why do you care? Hey, are you guys partners?
Yes.
How much of the business do you own?
50%.
So why do you care what he says?
Well, I just want him to be involved.
No, you're trying to get him to be the decision maker so that you can share blame if it doesn't work out. Why don't you just make the investment and go and add value to the business? 50% of a business that's 5 times bigger is better than 50% of a business that's 5 times smaller.
Okay.
I'm just asking, how are you ever going to build a big business if you guys have to have mutual consensus on doing the right things for the business?
Well, I guess it goes back to any other business decisions we've made. It was just one of those things that we felt that was the right thing to do. Talk it out, give our pros and cons. Sometimes we made the decision, sometimes we didn't make the decision, but it was just one of those things. I came back from the 10X boot camp. I told him about it. He was interested, but then again, he's not familiar with you. I am. I'm in. Is what it comes
but I'm pointing this out. Look, you don't know me that well. You just saw me at a boot camp, but I call it as it is because this is the bullshit that gets in the way of people succeeding in business. Polling, POLLING. What should we do? I don't know. What do you think we ought to do? I don't know. I'll go check it out. Well, you checked it out, but I don't trust you enough to agree with you because I don't believe in you enough. Like all this is just like, what's wrong with just saying, hey, I just saw something that I think is going to double the size of our business. I'm writing a check for $100,000 and I believe in it so much. And I know you respect me so much and my contribution that of course you're going to agree to it. Does anybody understand? Like, where's that dialogue? So what people do in business is nobody has the confidence to make a decision. Nobody wants to be wrong. So everybody pulls each other. So we sit around going, what do you think? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Okay, well, we're partners. So what do you think? Well, I think we should do it. Okay, well, it seems like a lot. Let me tell you all the someone's on the gas, somebody's on the brake. Somebody's on the gas, somebody's on the brake. Somebody's on the gas, somebody's on the brake. And that's a condition in business that causes failure 100% of the time, because this is a proactive decision that you're trying to make. When shit hits the fan in business, it becomes a reactive decision and you can't act fast enough because no one wants to be the one that's committed to making the decision. Now, I have Josie Young was just here, and he was in his family's business, and he'd been working for 70 grand a year running it for him. And he went home from one of our events and he told his mom and dad, hey, I went to this event. This thing could make our business $5 million and it's 50 grand. And the parents said, we would never spend 50 grand on anything. So he came back to me and he's like, man, one day I want to own this business. It doesn't make enough for all of us to make enough. And I want to help him grow it. And I said, then instead of asking permission, why don't you demonstrate that you have the courage to invest in your family's business that you eventually want them to trust you to run, and then demonstrate that you can make a good decision and create a positive impact. Now, the business is doing 4 or 5 million. The parents are making more money than they've ever made in their life. He's making more money, and they've given total operational control to his son. And now we're working out a deal to buy into the business with the parents, because he demonstrated that he can make good decisions, take action that are decisive, and build the business. This whole thing, I'm just telling you, you don't know me, but if you keep playing this game, you guys are wearing yourself out, because the amount of energy that it takes to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, you could be using that energy to triple the size of your business because you trust and honor each other, and you're both confident in your ability to see things that will add value, take decisive action, and execute towards a stated objective and result as a team. When you have gyration, everything goes to slow movement, slow motion, and that will eventually kill your business.
Okay.
It's just my advice because I've seen it over and over and over. And so let me ask you the question. What would happen if you told your brother, I saw something that's going to triple the size of our company? I'm so certain of it that I wrote a check out of my own pocket and I bought 2 seats, and I would love for you to come along the journey with me. And if after those 2 days you experience what I believe is going to happen, then maybe you'll let the business reimburse me for your half.
Listen, I'm sold on it. I'm sold on it.
But you understand the thing is that
completely.
when you start learning to have that much confidence, your brother will trust you.
Okay.
It's when you're like, I saw it, I want to spend the money, and you guys get in a debate, that means you're not sold, because otherwise you would be like, I'm doing this with or without you, but I've already paid for it. If you see the value in it like I did, then you can pay me for your half. Otherwise, I'll just invest in it and you're welcome to come with me because I want you and I to kill it together. And like, that's what I would say to my wife. I would never go home and ask permission for anything because she trusts me. If she comes in and says, we need to make $100,000 investment for the business to add another $2 million or $3 million, I'd be like, okay, because I trust her. Like, I'm not going to debate it with her. Her eyes and ears are an extension of my eyes and ears, and we multiply and amplify through each other. So why would I put my foot up? Well, I don't know about that. You need to stop what you're doing. Well, that means I didn't trust her being in that position in the first place. And it's unsaid. It's probably this dance you guys have done, but I'll tell you, when you learn not to do the dance, you guys are going to go to attack speed, because you'll learn to have the confidence to make decisions without needing permission. And if you have the ethics and the morals and you trust each other, then you know you're doing that for each other.
Okay.
And let's blow it up.
Listen, I'm in. Trust me.
And I'll bring your brother up to the front of the room and I'll ask him, what is it about your brother you don't trust that you let him make good decisions for the company?
No. Listen, he makes great decisions. It's the old adage, the stuff he does well, I don't do well, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good.
But it's just one of these things that I do these things. I believe in this stuff. It's not something that he says, hey, let's go do this. It's my thing. And I just know that all right. So, hey, so right here. So this is the truth fall. Okay. So right now, call Aaron. Aaron, put your number in there, call him and get yourself registered. Tell your brother you made the decision. There's his number in there. You made the decision. We'll get you a hat too if you do it tonight. How's that? I'll get you one of those nice hats. And then we'll see you at a 360 with your brother. And I promise you guys will get 100% return on your money within the first 90 to 120 days. Okay. And just for the record, I contacted Dr. G. I spoke to him. He gave me 20 minutes and he hammered it. And it's
awesome. Dr. G's a phenomenal guy. Now I have to write a thing for his book because you just obligated me to.
Oh,
I was going to do it anyway, but I'll give you
happy to help.
Yeah, exactly. Good to see you. I'm going to bring Flames on here. Hey, buddy, how are you? It's always good to see Flames.
How you doing, man?
Good, brother. Good to see you.
Too. So I had a question. So I did
Hey, by the way, you're going to have to thank Dimitri when you see him, because I was only going to take one more question. And he's been spotting you for the last 3 weeks. He's like, Flames has been waiting to ask his question for 3 weeks. So here you go. Dimitri, Flames owes you a hat now.
Yeah, I got you, man. So I had interviewed a guy today, and pretty much I asked him what's his professional goal in 5 years. And it's pretty much leaning towards like his plan on like music and things like that, him getting a shop. But he says he want to work for me and my brand. So it's just like he kind of threw in like working with me and like what we would do at the end, but it was towards so his thing of seeing him as a business owner and doing things like that. So I just wanted to know if like that's a red flag or.
No, dude, look, people say they think they want things, but right now they don't know how to do it, right? Otherwise he wouldn't be talking to you. So what you should do is say, hey, as long as I'm committed to teaching you how to build a business, would you be committed to being fully engaged in my business? Because what you want to do is you want to harness the highest energy of people that you can while they're with you, but no one's ever going to own people for life, right? So when people say they want something bigger and they want to do something greater, then what you do is you paint that picture and say, we might as well come and learn how to build a business with me, because I'm learning how to build a business. And then maybe you and I could be partners and do something else and make it bigger. So I wouldn't have it be a red flag, but I would be crystal clear on what you need these people to do while they're working for you to contribute to the business and make sure you're getting your value out of it.
Appreciate that. That was good.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, man. It's always a pleasure.
All right, everybody, look, if you want more Owners Live, if you want my perspective on things, you can go to my YouTube channel. It just got put into the chat. It's right there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of good stuff on there. And so we definitely want to give you access to all the Owners Lives, to just the different interviews I've done with business owners, so we can reinforce this. You guys can hear it over and over and over. Remember, scaling and growing is an algorithm. The more you hear it, the more you execute on it, the more you actualize it, the faster it goes. Thank you for joining us on another evening, beautiful Tuesday evening in Scottsdale, Arizona with 10X Owners Live. The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.